welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how to achieve the super glowy, J-Lo-esque, goddess skin, island girl, pretty makeup. So yeah, keep watching and enjoy. So to start off, I'm going to be using the Fix Plus Spray by MAC. I'm just using this to hydrate the skin so it's prepared for all the great skincare I'm going to be using. Today I'm going for a more glowy look, and the difference between glowy and dewy I feel requires more pearlescent and iridescent skincare and primers. Rather, if I wanted this to be a more dewy look, I'd go for more hydrants, so products that are quite high in hyaluronic acid and all of those great moisture providing products. So I've just gone in with MAC Strobe Cream. I think it was in Gold Light, and I just used that all over the skin, massaged it in really well, and then on top of that I'm using the Valentino primer in Ambra. It's an illuminator, but you can use it all over the face, and it just makes the skin have this really nice glow, very ethereal, very lit from within, and that is the vibe that we are going for today. When I'm doing complexion applications, I like to use products within the same brand, so I am going to be using the Very Valentino foundation today, which is absolutely stunning, which is why I chose to use the Very Valentino primer in Ambra. It's like an illuminator, but it works well as a primer. You can put it all over the skin, or you can just use it in the high points of your face if you wanted to use it as a highlighter. But I like to use products within the same brand because I want the foundation to come out as best as it possibly can, and so obviously they're designed to work with each other. So as you can see, I've applied my primers and I'm just going over the top with the Very Valentino foundation. I believed I used the shade MA4, but I have mixed in some Iconic London Radiant Booster in Toffee Glow, and I'm just putting this around the perimeter of her skin. I want to lay down that kind of glowy base first. That way I don't have to apply loads of highlighters or liquid illuminators at the end, because I find that when you overload the skin after the fact, just in my opinion, it can give a more Tin Man effect, and I don't want to do that today. Today I want to keep it quite angelic and quite glowy and beachy and holiday vibes, if that makes sense. So as you can see, I'm just going around the perimeter of her face, blending this in. Usually I would start in the center, but again, because I'm kind of doing that underpainting technique with my bronzing products, that's why I'm starting on the side and kind of blending it upwards, making sure everything is as seamless and even as possible. Now I'm going in with the foundation by itself in the center of the face and just blending that out. There isn't really much to correct here because Margarita has such gorgeous skin. So I'm just kind of starting on one side and then working my way around the different sections of her face. As you'll see, I kind of make sure that one half is perfected first, and then I'll move on to another section of the skin to start that application process. I am including the full foundation procedure, so you can see how long it takes, and skin is my thing, so that's the part I enjoy doing the most, and I really want it to be as perfect as it can possibly be, but it does take time. So yeah, it might be a bit of a long one for you guys, but I just wanted to show in real time how long it actually takes to get a flawless base, or how long it takes for me to get a flawless base, should I say. So usually if I was doing my own makeup, I would apply my foundation with a brush and then go over with a beauty blender. However, I'm old school and I was doing makeup long before the beauty blender was a thing, should I say. So if you are using brushes, I'd say my tip would to be just keep blending and blending and blending. Using a buffing technique can work to make sure that that foundation is really melted into the skin to help the other products lay a lot better. So Now that that's all been blended nicely and everything is looking really flawless, I'm going in with a 217 brush from MAC, fluffy brush, and I'm using the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Ginger, I believe it was. This is just to correct any discoloration underneath the eye, and so I'm using a patting motion. This will allow me more control to get a better coverage from the concealers that I'm using. Anytime you do want to add extra coverage, always kind of pat in that product first before you buff it away. When you do buff away with certain products, it kind of just removes what you've already put on. If you want more coverage, you should always kind of press it into the skin first, and then on top of that you can kind of buff to get away any of the harsh edges that it may leave. So as you can see, I'm doing that same patting effect with a lighter concealer. I think it's macadamia that I used, of that same concealer, and I'm just going over to brighten the under eye. I'm not bringing it up all the way across the eye. I just kind of put it where I needed it, which is more towards the inner part of her face near her nose, and then I blended it out and stretched that concealer to where the high points of her cheeks were. I'm also taking that and putting it on her forehead. Anywhere that you would usually highlight is where the lighter concealer is going. So I am just taking my concealer brush and I'm patting that in. The way that I get rid of any harsh lines is to go over with a clean buffing brush or the foundation brush that I used, and just go around where I've placed that concealer, and this kind of gets rid of any harsh lines, so the gradient is a lot more seamless. And now I'm setting the under eye with the PatMcgrath blurring powder. This is the medium one. I think there's 3, so she has a transparent and a pink ones, but this is the medium. I'm just using this to set where I place that concealer. I love this powder because it really does blur without mattifying the skin too much. As I want this look to be quite glowy, I'm not going to be using heavy powders or a lot of powders, but I do need it to obviously still stay for a long time, so it still needs to be set, and this powder still gives that kind of skin-like feel and luminosity to the skin that we achieved placing all those foundations and skincare products down. So yeah, I've just used that to set, and then I'm going over the top with Charlotte Tilbury bronzing powder. I think I used the shade 3. So I'm just using that Charlotte Tilbury bronzer to bring warmth back to the skin. I'm not going to be doing any heavy sculpting. I want this to still look quite fresh, as if she's just been on a beach for 2 weeks. I'm placing the bronzer right where the sun would naturally hit her skin, just to keep it quite warm and bring some warmth back to the face. I'm also taking that bronzer and I am using it to sculpt the eye socket. So I'm going to bring it down her nose just a touch and on the outer corner. I like using bronzers that I've used on the face incorporated with the eyeshadow looks that I do. I just think it makes the whole look a little bit more cohesive and blended, and makes the transition from shadows and skin and everything to look more entwined. I'm now taking my favourite product that I found so far this year, the Victoria Beckham Kajal Liner in Cocoa. Oh my god, I bought one for myself. I had to go back and buy one for my kit. I got 3 others as well, so I might do another video on those, but they are so good. I'm so happy that she brought these out. But yeah, I'm just running that along the lash line to bring some definition. I'm not going to be doing anything too graphic or heavy, but I do just want to bring some depth to the eye look that I'm going to be doing today. So I've just run that along the lash line, and I'm going to be blending it in with a pencil brush back and forth, just so it all gets smoky a little bit. I'm kind of creating a fox eye shape, but I don't want it to be too dramatic. I just kind of want a soft kind of structure to the eye. going to be taking that through the crease just a touch. And again, this is just to build up depth. I don't really want to have a cut crease or anything, but I want it to be more defined for when I add a lid color, so that it doesn't just get washed away. And I'll be repeating this process on the other eye once I've blended that out. I'm also going to be taking that liner and putting it through the waterline just to kind of make a smudgy, smoky effect. Usually I only go halfway on the waterline. I don't like to bring it all the way across because I think it makes the eyes look a little bit smaller. But today I did still want to make it impact, so I brought it all the way across to the tear duct and I am just smoking that out. I'll be repeating this process on the other eye. So literally just building up that kind of smoky effect. Comes time for my favorite part. I am taking the Danessa Myricks Dew Balm. This one is in the shade Morning Dew and it literally has the most gorgeous reflective gold flakes in there, and it's kind of like a jelly texture. So I didn't want to create a wet or like slippery looking eye. I still wanted it to hold its kind of shape. I didn't want it to be dripping. I definitely wanted it to be like kind of shiny but more bouncy rather than like wet looking. But I'm just taking this all over the lid with a brush, and then I'm blending it in with another brush, and then just to get rid of any kind of harsh lines, I'm going in with my finger and just patting that and making sure it's all nice and blended. I absolutely love these. I have them in 2 other shades. Can't remember what they're called right now, but they give you the most lovely, reflective, editorial kind of glow wherever you put them. I applied mascara off camera and I'm just brushing through the Anastasia Brow Gel Freeze, the one that I recently bought. It's kind of like a mascara formula. It is so good at holding up the brows, and I'm brushing it through with a disposable wand and just make sure those brows are nice and fluffy. Then I'm going to go in with the, I can't remember what they're called, but they're lip balms by Nars. I don't know if they have a specific name, but I do know they had a limited edition shade called Laguna when they had their bronzer collection, and they came out with like loads of shades of cream bronze and stuff. But anyway, this is the Laguna lip balm. I've just used it to prep the lip. I don't want to use too many lip products, so I wanted colours that were quite similar, and this kind of gives you the perfect base. On top of that, I'm using Strip Down by MAC, which is a iconic favorite of mine. Love a bit of Strip Down, and I'm just using that to define the lip. I then chose a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick called JK Magic, and I'm just putting that over the center. Not too much, but just enough to give a little bit of colour to the lips. And then on top of that, I am going in with my favourite gloss. This is Ibiza Nights by Charlotte Tilbury. Absolutely stunning. I think this is the only gloss that anyone ever needs. The reflex in it are beautiful. The glitter is not too chunky. It just gives you these really luscious, kissable, pouty lips. I like to apply my blush and highlighter products after I've done everything. It just lets me know how much I need to put on and such. So I'm using a highlighter wheel from MAC, just to kind of give a glow to the skin, but you can use any kind of glowy blush or highlighter if you prefer. I'm then going over the top with the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray, and then for a final set I'm using the One Size setting spray on top. And there we have it. This was my easy, glowy, goddess, bronzy, gorgeous summer makeup tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I loved applying it. She looks absolutely stunning, and yeah, can't wait to see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.